In the 250 division, aboard the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki, Adam Cianciarulo. In second, aboard the Monster Yamalube Thor Parts Unlimited Yamaha, Aaron Plessinger. And the winner on the Troy Lee Designs Red Bull KTM, Shane McElrath. Adam, there's a lot of energy in the building, being A1, and everyone's pretty excited about it. But for you, this was your first experience with that. Take us through the day and some of the emotions that you felt dealing with this atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, it was nerve-wracking for sure. I think for me, rolling out of the tunnel before the heat race, man, I didn't expect it to be completely sold out. Like, I've been coming to Anaheim probably since 2008, 2009, pretty much every year. So to see it this packed, and man, I was so nervous in that heat race. So, I mean, even in the main event, I think the whole energy around this year too in Supercross, it seems like even just leading up to the event, it just seems like bigger than normal. Like the moment just feels bigger. So it's exciting. It's exciting to be a part of it.
You liked Anaheim?
Yeah, I loved it. I thought the track was really good too. A little bit slicker than I thought it was, especially in that heat race. I went out there and it looked a lot better than it was. I was sliding all over the place. So, but yeah, overall good experience. First Anaheim.
Aaron, congratulations. The heat race and the main event looked pretty similar. Adam was able to get you in the heat race, but in the main, he sat behind you for most of it. Did you feel him back there? Do you know it was him?
Yeah, I definitely felt him. He was right there. I could feel him hounding me down, but I just stayed consistent, and I just kept my eyes forward and didn't look back, and yeah, ended up second.
Shane, congratulations. Little deja vu?
A little bit, yeah, but I mean, this year, like Adam and Aaron were saying, this is a big year, and I mean, the West Coast is got a lot of competition and from a lot of teams too. So coming into this, I mean, you'll hear it more times tonight, but I've never really felt that much nerves. So it just was the first one, and well, it was just for the heat race, but after the heat race, it's like, all right, we got the first one out of the way. But no, these guys are going to put up a fight all year, and I'm looking forward to it. It's been a good off season. We've put in our time and really learned a lot. So I just look forward to keep growing.
All right, guys.
Everybody wears black this year. I can't see anything. Shane, compare yourself this year to last year. Is it the same, or do you feel you've elevated your game? And if you have, what areas do you think you've gotten better?
Yeah, I mean, this has been, like I said, a good off season, and just actually feel confident on the bike, feel aggressive, and that's the big difference to last year. I mean, last year I was halfway through, Aaron was behind me, and I was like trying to go forward, but I was like, dude, this is real. And but this year, I mean, this is what we train for. This is what we do routinely during the week. So these guys, they were pushing, and I was trying to just not let them catch me. But at the same time, I feel aggressive. I feel good on the bike, and I just feel more in control and a little less starstruck this year.
For Aaron and Adam, in the heat race, as he was talking about, you guys had sort of an alternate thing last lap. He got you in the heat race, Aaron. And Adam, like when you're coming out of a heat race and you had done that, you got him on the last lap. For you, I'm wondering, what does that tell you in the main event? Did it make you maybe a little more patient, thinking that you could get him later on? And then for you, like losing the spot late in the heat race, did it light a fire into you at all?
Yeah, I think for me, first of all, I was just happy to be alive after somebody landed on me on the on-off. I don't know who it was. I just saw a yellow fender. I seriously, like the whole first half a lap, I was thinking to myself, oh my, like I could be laying on the ground. Like my whole series could be over right now. Like I'm so happy to be alive right now. So that was nice. And then after that, really, I was just trying to. I obviously had to make passes quick. I had a few guys that I passed. I don't even remember, but I tried to. I was just trying to get him the whole time. Honestly, I didn't really look too much into the heat race. He made a mistake coming out of the whoops. I almost did the same thing a couple times. So as far as fitness and all that goes, I feel like I'm pretty confident that most of us out here can do 15+1 pretty wide open. So I wasn't like waiting for him to get tired or anything like that. I figured he'd be pretty strong all the way through, regardless of the mistake in the heat race. So for me, it was just I was trying to get him the whole time, and I ended up getting arm pump. So didn't work.
To be honest, I I actually thought it was Joey for the longest time.
Thanks, bro.
And then I realized it was Adam, and then yeah, I just tried to be consistent and not make the mistake I did in the heat race. But yeah, I just kept my head on straight and just charged forward and keep looking forward. And yeah.
This is for all three of you. Anaheim won typically a pretty mellow track to ease you guys into it, but there were some things like that quad down the first baseline that you could do, but it didn't seem like any of you guys did it in the main event. What were your thoughts on it? Pretty safe. You guys didn't do anything that was too risky at all. It didn't seem just consistent.
The track was actually, yeah, it was pretty mellow, but like at the same time you had to push so hard, and I don't know, it got your heart rate up so quick, and yeah, there were some things that were pretty big, but overall it was pretty mellow, and I mean the track was really fun actually, I thought, and yeah, I had a blast.
Yeah, I think when the obstacles aren't that difficult like you saw tonight, I feel like we have to bring the intensity up. Like when the obstacles are a little bit gnarlier, you don't necessarily have to, like you're more racing the track. And tonight we were just kind of all, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like we were all just kind of sprinting. Like I felt like we went kind of the same speed we did in the heat race, to be honest. Like and normally you see a little bit, just maybe a % or two slower. You know, it feels that way. The intensity comes down a little bit during the main just because it's a little bit longer. But I feel like if you did that tonight, you were probably wasn't going to be good for you. I believe Joey had a question. I saw you raising your hand back there.
I was just wanting to know, when you found out that it was Adam, did it make you feel better?
Be honest.
I kind of felt the same, but
All right. That's funny. Good times, everybody. We're having fun up here.
All right, Shane, having the points lead again. I know last year that was something that you kind of wrestled with. You know, a whole lot more attention, a whole lot more, you know, pressure being out front. Is that something you're more ready for this year?
Yeah, like I said, it was to come into A1. I mean, I didn't have a clue where we were. I come off a 5-month off season because of my crash at Southwick during outdoors the year before. So even the whole month of December, I was just going through the motions. I was like, dude, I've been doing the same thing for so many months, and I'm like, dude, I just want to go race. I mean, I remember a week and a half before A1 last year, I had a meeting with Tyler and TK, and TK was like, dude, what's wrong? Like, are you even sure you're ready to race? And in a sense, it's like, I understand where you're coming from, but it's like I've been doing the same thing for so long. But to come out and, like I said, the whole main event, I was like out front and I was like trying to race forward, but at the same time, everything's going on around you. I'm about to get my first win and everything's happening really quick. So then to get the red plate, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, well, now what do I do? And but I mean, now we're here to race, and we're here to bring everything we have every weekend. And like I said before, I mean, these guys are not going to back off, and everybody's just going to continue to get better. And it's going to be really hard, but we're ready for the challenge.
Questions for Adam. Adam, it seemed like you had a difficult time finding places to make up time. You'd mentioned you guys were kind of pushing the limits of the track. Was there anything about the way the track broke down that didn't allow you to make up that time?
No. I really feel like I found my groove there in the middle of the race. I think I had some I briefly talked with my mechanic after the race, so I could be wrong, but I think I had some faster lap times. I think I was kind of clicking there in the middle, and I think it's just you kind of get off your flow a little bit. You kind of start pushing the front end, and it's just here and there. And once you lose a couple, like it seems like if you have a bad lap, you lose a half a second. It's like kind of takes the wind out of your sails because it's so hard it was so hard to make up time. I mean, partly just because these guys were going really fast, but also the track, like we said, we were all pushing pretty hard. And in that heat race, I mean, not to go back to the heat race, but to go back to the heat race, I was going as fast as I can in the beginning of the race, and I was like, dude, they were pulling me, and I was like, man, I'm about to get roasted in front of 60,000 people like right away. It's like that. So I was happy I was able to at least keep it, keep it close. I felt pretty good about my main event, even though it's a third. I think we're in a good spot moving forward. Feel good.
This one's for Shane. So the second time's qualifying session, you had a pretty big one. Obviously, you're not hurt, but how you feeling?
Yeah, that's one of those where you kind of just it kind of brings your focus back in front of you. It just was kind of silly. I just jumped 6 inches a little too far to the left and landed on the hay bales. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those times where you've just got to get back up and keep going. I mean, it's going to be tough, and these guys are going to take advantage of weaknesses just like I would. So, yeah.
With about 3 minutes left in the main, you almost did the exact same thing. Did that spike the heart rate?
I did almost do that again. I felt like the line was kind of getting farther and farther inside, and it was a little soft there. So I didn't jump as far out as I did in practice, but I was like, oh, no. But, yeah, it was – I mean, it's one of those things where you just leave it there and keep pushing forward.
This question is for Aaron. Aaron, I always kind of think of you as an East Coast guy. Obviously, you're from Ohio, and I think you raced the past couple seasons, maybe the East Coast. So coming into 2018, were you always slated to race the West Coast Series, or did that happen late in 2017?
It actually happened when Colt Nichols broke his arm. I was supposed to race East Coast, and he was supposed to race West, but things happen, and I mean, I'm kind of happy I raced West now, but the challenge is going to be pretty big, and I'm up for it.
This question's for Shane. Shane, with the new testing facility in Temecula with KTM, are you able to use that facility, and how much is that a benefit to your program right now?
Well, I've been there once, and I don't ever want to go back until there's a few changes. But I know the KTM and Husky guys have been breaking it in, but it wasn't much of a 250 track. But I mean, it's good to train on, and it sucked training on it. But no, I mean it's cool that KTM is bringing what they have. I mean they are really investing in their riders, and it's pretty crazy to see and to think like, man, I'm just a guy that likes to ride my motorcycle, and you're doing that for all your riders, and I think it just speaks loudly for KTM and their brand, and they really want to do good and give their athletes the best things that they can, and they're really doing good at it.
This is for all three of you. Big change to the track that not a lot of people could see is that metal grate behind the starting gate. I don't think maybe you, Shane, have raced on it before at Monster Cup. How big of a difference is that compared to dirt in the past? And you're all three pretty tall, so you didn't need starting blocks or anything, right?
I use starting blocks, actually. Yeah, no.
Dang, bro.
I added leverage. I don't know. I just felt like a little bit. I mean, I'm basically flat foot on the bike anyway, but I just wanted like the extra weight on the bike, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe Shane could talk about the starting pad, because you seem to kind of have a dial. I was not so good.
For me, I kind of see it as like a 450. It's like when I get on a 450, I've got to like respect the bike. With the dirt, you could just do what you wanted, but I mean the metal grate, you've got all this traction, and you can start on it as hard as you can, but you've just got to be able to manage it to get a good start. So for me, it's all about respecting it.
I actually didn't get it down until like probably like 3 days ago. I was still wheeling off of it, so I mean, yeah, it was not
like,
so pretty.
I feel like we were all like, I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of self-conscious about my practice great at home because it's like I'm not entirely sure if it's the same, and I was going to kind of, I didn't know if I was going to use blocks or if the grate was the same, if I was going to get the same traction. So yeah, I kind of feel like I got it, I mean, halfway decent down in practice today, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I feel like everybody, I just feel like you're always double clutching off that thing. Like I'm just like trying to keep the front end down. So it's just all about managing it, like they said.
One more for Adam and Aaron. You guys have raced each other a long time, like 80s and as kids. How weird is that to end up, here you are battling for a podium in Anaheim, as you said, in front of a sold-out stadium, biggest race of the year, but you've been doing this against each other at any level, at any age. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think it is crazy, man. I remember racing Aaron probably, man, it had to be maybe like 2008, 2009, first time I kind of remember racing. He was always huge. I was always super jealous because I was super small, and man, I just wanted to be tall so bad. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I was just jealous of him, honestly. But yeah, it's cool. I think it's the nature of the sport. We kind of all grow up together. We all go to the same races. We all travel, kind of, and in a way, we're kind of bonded together because it sounds a little weird, but we kind of sacrifice our lives for the sport in a way. I mean, we all have to do it the same way through the amateur nationals and through all that stuff. So we all don't like each other in a way, but in a way we like kind of got that special bond, you know. So I think it's neat. But I thought it was weirder that it was like literally the heat race in the main event. It was the same thing. So that was more weird than actually seeing Aaron up there. I expected that.
I think it's pretty cool. I think our generation has grown, and it's obviously one of the faster ones. And I think it's awesome to see us grow and to see us get faster. And yeah, I look forward to racing these guys for years to come.
All right, thanks, guys.